going on, everyone? It's your girl Aaliyah with Title Sports Network, and I'm joined now with Matthew Macklin. Very nice to meet you. We're in Saudi Arabia, a very big fight week. How are you feeling?
Yeah, I feel good. A bit tired from the late flight last night, but kind of the adrenaline of everything that's happening here and the excitement to be in Saudi ahead of undisputed heavyweight championship, biggest probably fight in our generation. Just delighted to be here.
Me too. What brings you out to this fight?
So I'm going to be the lead co-commentator for Sky Sports. We're broadcasting the fight live on pay-per-view back in the UK.
That's amazing. How exciting. How are you doing other fights this year too, like broadcasting work?
Yeah. I work for Sky Sports, so we do, whatever shows, whatever fights Sky do, I'll be there.
Most definitely. Well, this is the fight we've all been looking forward to, years in the making. There hasn't been one of these for 25 years. Just talk to me a little bit more about that and just the meaning behind this for the fight fans.
Well, it's historic, like you say. It's undisputed, so that means there's going to be a number one guy. No one else can lay claim and say they've got the WBC or they've got this belt, the IBF. This is an undisputed, so that means there's no argument.
So true.
And it'll be the first actually in the four belt era. Because before for years the WBO wasn't necessarily regarded as one of the bona fide titles, but certainly for the last 20 years or so, more 30 years, it has been considered that. So it will be the first undisputed heavyweight champion in the four belt era. So that's history.
And how do you see it going?
I think it's hard to really say. I think you have to lean to Fury. Because he's the man who beat the man, and no one's beaten him since. He's had a couple of off nights, but who hasn't? Obviously Usyk has two great wins against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua flattened Ngannou, who Tyson struggled with, but that doesn't always tell the story as well. First of all, styles make fights, and secondly, I think Tyson just had a terrible night against Ngannou, so you can look too much into that. But it is a fascinating clash because Fury's fast for such a big guy. He's really agile as well. But then you got Usyk, who he's not as big. He's coming up from cruiserweight. Very, very mobile. Very, very fit. Very clever. So even though Fury's win against Wilder, where he took it to the very feared, massive one-punch KO merchant, this is a completely different fight, a different puzzle to solve.
And do you think the winner of this fight will be at the top for the pound-for-pound list in boxing?
I mean, I don't know. Are they the best pound for pound? They're the top of the boxing, aren't they? Because the heavyweight division is it's the signature division of boxing, and it trickles down. And you got Tyson Fury's a superstar, and Usyk's, his superstardom's growing as well. He's undefeated heavyweight champion. Those two wins against Joshua, like I said before, really kind of boosted his profile. He's undefeated. He's two-weight world champion. He's definitely in the top handful of pound-for-pound fighters, and Fury's, as of today, the number one heavyweight in the world. So, he might not be on Sunday, but as of today, he is. But I think people probably pick him as favourite. I would say that's probably the right thing. But who knows? It's heavyweight boxing, and these two are top-notch.
In your own opinion, who would you say are the top three, I guess, the best fighters in our current era at the moment? Just with the last fights we've seen.
In the heavyweight division or pound for pound?
Pound for pound, all around.
I don't know. I mean, these two guys are up there. These are the two best heavyweights. In a way, he's got to be right up there.
Yeah.
Terence Crawford, got to be right up there. Canelo is up there. Probably somewhere, one of those probably.
Are you one of the people wanting to really see the Canelo versus Benavidez fight, or how do you feel about that?
Yeah, definitely, because I think that's a guy that can possibly beat Canelo in and around that weight division. You know what I mean? There's not too many guys who you say they're going to beat Canelo, but I think Benavidez, like Munguia did good. He put up a good performance. He gave him a competitive fight, but I never really thought going in that Munguia has got enough to beat Canelo. Yeah, he can compete with him. But I didn't think he was good enough to beat him. But Benavidez, I think maybe he could.
Deontay Wilder versus Zhang. What do you think about that fight?
So, you're as good as your last fight, aren't you, in boxing? And Wilder in his last fight looked poor. You know, his timing was out, his distance was out. He didn't even really look like he really, you know, when it got a bit tough and he needed to kind of dig down and find something, he didn't seem willing to do it, didn't want to do it. You know, and that's probably not also fair to Joseph Parker. Played his part. He boxed a really smart fight. He didn't allow him to get those things off. But you know, he'd had one round in 2 years or something like that, Wilder, and you just wonder where his motivation in the sport is. Now, he just got 12 rounds against Parker, so that inactivity, that rust, well, even though he lost the fight, he has shook off the rust, so he may be better. He may be a lot better against Zhang, and Zhang's, you know, Parker was good, he was moving, he didn't really let Wilder pin him down or land anything. Zhang's not hard to find, you know, and Wilder is a savage puncher, so he could just go out there and knock Zhang out. That said, you know, Zhang could definitely take him out as well. I think these are two big hitters. And I think it's whoever hit it to first with the big shot wins. That's
a great breakdown. I heard some people saying that they think that if Deontay Wilder loses this fight, that it's kind of the end for him. Do you agree with that? Of like, of course, like you just said, he had a loss before this. So what do you think it does for him if he doesn't come out victorious?
Yeah, I'd say so. Like I don't even know where his appetite is within the sport anymore. Like he was speaking very philosophical, very philosophically the last time, and he'd, you know, almost like a man who was finding himself, and that's probably making him a better person, but it won't be making him a better fighter. I think, you know, having that bit of a chip on your shoulder, having that bit of anger, that's a good thing as a fighter. Maybe not as a person for happiness, but you know what I mean. But in terms of being effective as a boxer, you need that bit of spite in you, and he just seems very kind of, you know, at peace, which, you know, great for him, but I don't think that's the best for him as a fighter.
And my last question for you is the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul fight. Just what are your thoughts on that?
No comments.
That's so funny. That's been like everybody's comment is no comment. A lot of people aren't very happy about this. But do you have a name at least? Do you think Mike Tyson's going to win it, or are you just kind of, I guess, thrown off by it?
I mean, who knows? Mike Tyson's what, in his 60s now, you know what I mean?
Late 50s, but yeah.
Yeah, late 50s, whatever. So, I don't know, but from what I can gather from just bits I've seen online, he's been smoking weed every day and night for the last however many years. So, where's his fitness levels going to be? Where's his reflexes, reaction times? Listen, Mike Tyson, you know, and don't get me wrong, he could, because I've seen him hit the pads and that. He's probably he has got a burst in him, but how many of those bursts has he got? You know what I mean? Jake Paul's a young guy, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Well, thank you so much. We appreciate your time. Thank you. And any last words for all the fight fans watching? Anything we can expect to see from you pretty soon?
No, not from me. I'm retired, but you know, whether you're in the US or UK or whatever network or television you're watching it on, watch this fight. Undisputed, first undisputed heavyweight champion of the four-belt era, two undefeated guys, two massive characters. Whether it's going to be a fight of the year, whether it's going to be a chess match, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's going to be exciting.
It's going to be one you guys do not want to miss. Thank you so much for watching. Bye, everyone.